Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Appreciate you watching. We're going to take a quick look here again at Solana, see what's going on, double check some backend data, and kind of see where we're at. Quick little heads up if you are new to the channel. Thank you, obviously, for watching. But if you've been watching me for a while, I appreciate the support. Recently, with all the shenanigans that happened with Dubai, we actually traveled to Dubai just to give you perspective here. We were at the World Islands Resort in Dubai, of course, and Atara. It's a lot of fun here, but mainly it was a lot of no fun getting here at this point because we had to be rerouted to Muscat, Oman, for 2 days with no hotel. It was a brutal experience. Either way, thank you so much for your patience. That's what I'm getting at here, and we'll look forward to seeing what's going on here. So let's just double check a couple of key factors here before we get started with our Solana analysis. So when we look at this here, last 7 days of trading, we can see there's a solid amount of liquidation here at lower levels, about 140. Okay, so $140 is that lower level here from the last couple of days. Again, this is the last 7 days worth of liquidation. The majority of liquidation in the upper range has been swept at around 140, 150. Okay. Now, if we take a look at the last month, let's just double check this here. There's some larger amounts of liquidity, if I recall correctly. Yep, up there at 180, and then of course here at 160. So we can see last week or two, 160 is a pretty big deal right there for us, okay? So there's a solid chance we will see that level swept, but again, keep in mind 140 is equally as much volume. Now, it's not a ton of volume up there, about 150, 160, but it's still something we need to be mindful of, okay? So having said that, we take a look here, just quickly to note, we had this, when I talked about this recently, we discussed the fact that we are range bound and breaking free from the range with a bullish backtest is exactly where you want to consider entry. So congrats to our community members who got in right there at about 141, 143. I was considering taking a long at that point, but played a little bit safe with just our one trade. If you take a look here, we took a Bitcoin long about 63,900, took 30% profit, close to 30% profit in about 18, 19 hours. So again, that was a very, very beneficial situation. Solana is exuding very similar behavior because, again, it's fairly well paired with it right now. Okay, so if we understand all that and we combine that and we take a look at the daily time frame here, we'll probably be able to see some similarities, I would say, to Bitcoin, but also dissimilar too in a lot of ways because it's broken down a lot further than Bitcoin did. Okay, so again, it's that standard sell-off for altcoins, and it's pretty normal. So let's go ahead and double check the daily time frame here and just work our way down. We held above the 100-day SMA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 7 candles? That's crazy. 7 days in a row we couldn't break lower than $133. While it did wick down a few times, we held that level. So that's a good sign. We can see we have the most amount of volume at $130 too. That's that point of control. So basically this implies if the price pulls back again, adding to your position between 130 and 140 wouldn't be a terrible consideration. Okay, again, just somewhat of a support range there for us. We can see we're still under 50 on the RSI, but stochastic swinging up, money flow index is fairly low. So again, this is not a bullish sign by any stretch. Being over 50 is good. We want that. Same thing with 50 on the SMA. Getting above 165 would be all advantageous. But if we take a look at the MACD, we're trying to converge but haven't yet. So it's premature to celebrate right now, but it's definitely a good sign here to be able to understand that we've broken free from this resistance level, this 0.382 fib level, and we're considering, or we're likely to consolidate there and possibly bounce further. It's easier to see on smaller time frames, but if you look at this here, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. You can recognize that we're in a position where the price action is looking pretty solid here. Okay, again, this bullish back test here of this most recent range-bound resistance level, turn support, and the price continues higher. So now that we're up over this 0.382 level, this may be a consideration for a long. However, you got to understand we've established 1, 2, 3, basically 3 higher lows, and that's good. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes retracement is necessary in that circumstance. So we could see a pullback here, but the way we look at it here, if we're kind of looking at the last 2 weeks worth of trading, we see the most amount of volume at 138, 139. So that does reaffirm that resistance turn support level at 139 to 140 is pretty solid. Okay, so the price does pull back. That may be a good consideration for entry. Just keep in mind if that were to happen, that could put us in a head and shoulders pattern. Obviously, there's a lot of different things that could play out. We've got to play it by ear, but 4-hour time frame is looking decent. Let's double check a couple things though. First of all, this is very positive. I wouldn't say this is a decent quality. This is a good quality. But we can see RSI up over 50. Same thing with money flow index. Even though it's tapering off, it's still quite high. And this is something we haven't seen in a while. Okay, so again, it's been roughly about almost 2.5 weeks since we've seen the money flow index being this high. Okay, that ensures that we have some stability, and the price action is more likely to sustain its level because we have more people buying in and they feel like it's a good value. Same thing here with MACD. Converging still, no divergence, looking pretty strong. Okay, so these are all positive contributing factors we like to see. Even though stochastic is swinging down, and there's a chance we could see a pullback, we're not in a position right now where it's like super terrible or this is like a bad situation. There's more positive than negative here. We're over the 50 and the 20-day SMA. In fact, let's go ahead and draw out a trend line here too. And as you can kind of see, this trend line is running concurrent with the 20-day SMA. So let's go ahead and quickly shift this over here and recognize that we have this support and resistance range. So we're just going to go ahead and pull this out here. Pay attention to it. You can see here previously too, if we look at the 155, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now 6 candles that come up to that 154, 155 range and hasn't broken through yet. That leads us to believe that's a resistance level for the moment. So hypothetically, we go range bound here. We could see a squeeze to the upside and it continues further up. But once more, we do have that tentative resistance there. Let's quickly look at the hourly and call it a day here for you folks. Let's see, hourly is confirming a lot of bullish signs too. So while this isn't necessarily like you just jump right in because the price is moving in the right direction, it still kind of is. And what I mean by that is you want to move with the trend. Right now the trend is bullish and you have a lot more luck or potential for benefit if you kind of anticipate the price is going to go up than down. Most of the things we looked at so far, minus the daily being fairly kind of just in between, it's in a transition right now. The 4-hour time frame is looking pretty solid, and we can see the hourly also confirming that the convergence lines above the baseline, lag expands free and clear, and we're over the cloud here. And once again, the cloud for the win, kind of running ascending with this trend line that we see. So those are all positive things that we like to look at and we understand are things you want to understand. You want to recognize when you take a trade. Okay. So again, shorting into this is a bad idea because we haven't confirmed we've broken the ascending trend, right? So again, there's a lot of reasons why shorting this coin right now is a bad idea, even though it could pull back and it may very well do that. We got to give it a chance to do that first, okay? So again, trying not to be too premature, too early in trades. It's okay to wait for good confirmation. That's generally what I like to do. That's why our success rate is fairly high. While we did take a couple of stop losses this month, a couple more than usual, it's still the amount of trades that we have successful versus not is really high. So as long as you have good risk tolerance and you adjust your stop loss higher, you're generally going to be in pretty good shape. So again, thank you again for everyone who's been patient and consistent and just their beliefs in the system that we have in place. It doesn't happen overnight again, but swing trading it requires a little bit of patience. Either way, that's kind of where we're at here. Hope this made sense. And you learned something here today. If you want to become, again, better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link down below, but either way you look at it, deeply appreciate you watching. Thanks again so much for your support and patience. We'll see you all in the next video. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care.